Muhammad Umar Farooq Biological Video. Please make sure to subscribe, like and share. Ask the question for answer and comment about the artwork. So in this video we will talk about the translocation of water, the ascent of sap. The translocation of water mean the water move from the root to the shoot system. That is the basic structure which that support the xylem, which the translocation of water, the ascent of sap, meaning the upward movement of the sap. So the sap we will discuss about it here. Here is the plant which that contain root and shoot system. There's a root system embedded into the soil, and there's the absorb water, mineral, and different types of elements from the soil. That's the water is the very important, which that is used for the transpiration, photosynthesis, and retention in the herbaceous plant by the turgidity of the cell. So the soil and upper side the atmosphere. So the soil potential high if moist or low if extreme dry. So if extreme dry, the soil, so the potential of the soil is low, I mean negative. So here is the basically root potential, which that is the which is the soil potential and root potential. Potential is medium to high because the root contain water. If soil is dry, the root is basically high potential. So the leaf potential depends on transpiration rate, low when stomata are open. So the stomata when open, the transpiration rate will be low. Potential will be low. So here is the low, basically low water potential if in the environment, and atmospheric potential changes with humidity usually very low. So the when humidity is too much, so the water will not transpire because there's a potential is higher in the atmospheric potential. So there's the plant will not diffuse the water into the atmosphere. So here we will talk about the root. There's a cross section of the root is here. There's contain root here, epidermis, that is the epidermis are present is here, and here is the endodermis, and between the epidermis and endodermis, that's the cortex. We have studied about these things. So here is the inner side, the xylem, and red color shows that the secondary phloem, and inside is the primary phloem, that is shown in the white color. So is the cortex, and here is the phloem. Here inside is the primary phloem, and outside the second. And between the phloem, there's the xylem is present. That's the xylem is the very important things which that are using for the conduction of water. That's the inside is the primary xylem, and outside is the in the periphery of the vascular cambium is secondary xylem. So the orange color shows that the vascular cambium, and inside the primary xylem, and here is the secondary xylem. So I hope you make sense about these things, which that is easy to understand. So here we will talk about the basically the information of the location of water, the ascent of sap. So is that the fluid translocation in the xylem is dilute 0.1%. Solution are mineral ions absorbed from the soil. This solution add in xylem by the passively and accepted by leaf cell by active transport. So passive transport mean that the soil will accept the water from the passive transport, no energy use, and go into the leaf. There's a leaf absorb there's the sap in the form of a mineral deposition from the conduction of xylem, that is absorbed by the active transport. So that's why the active transport is here. Is the water will be enter from here to here, and then go by the conduction due to the xylem. That's the xylem is the very important for the conduction of water. So some mineral are also added in this xylem, but mostly 95% is water, pure water. So here I will draw a cross section with some cells which that are importance for the diffusion of water into the xylem. So here is the xylem vessel, and here is the Casparian strip which that are present. We talk here, and here the endodermis are present here, and here the parenchyma cells which that are living and absorb the water. So here is the plasmodesmata which that is used for the symplast pathway, and here is the apoplast pathway. That's apoplast pathway is the cell wall to cell wall movement of water. So the cell wall to cell wall movement of water is restricted by the Casparian strip which that are present in the endodermis. This endodermis is used for the restriction of the water. So there's a red color shows that the cell wall is lignified, and waxes are present with that are hydrophobic interaction, and there's the apoplast pathways will change into the symplast pathway. The symplast pathway mean the cell move from plasmodesmata vacuolar pathway. It can be there's a move by a channel of the cell with that is known as plasmodesmata. That's a plasmodesmata is very important to move the water from one cell to another cell is due to the Casparian strip. So there's a go into the xylem, and xylem will be conduct the water. So that's the whole concept about these things. So here is the pressure will be create. There's a measure in Pascal. There's pressure of the water that's measured in the Pascal, and that's a pressure is equal to force over area. There's a force over area is equal to P is equal to F over A. That's a P is equal to F over A is equal to Newton per meter square. That's a 1 Newton per meter square is equal to 1 Pascal, and 1000 Pascal is equal to 1 kilopascal. So here is the very important, the tallest tree is the California redwood, which that is the very important. There's length, basically the tallness of the this tree is equal to 111.6 meter. That is counted, and there's the tallest living broadleaf, which that is the basically another Eregnus measured to be 99.2 meter. There's a high tallness of that tree which use the water to move upward. That is the upward pull of water is due to ascent of sap. That is the due to the pressure creation, and there's the different theories we will discuss in the next video. So here is a basically overview of the ascent of sap, the translocation of water. That's we are going to understand in the next video. So here is the stem which that contain a wood, okay, and this wood is black color showing the hardwood, and brown color shows that the sapwood. The hardwood is inactive and non-functional, but some functional can be. So here is sapwood which that is present in the periphery of the hardwood. That's the epidermis, and cortex is present between the endodermis and epidermis. That's a cortex present, and bark is the upper layer. So the structure of the different layers of xylem which contain between the gap which that is produced is known as annual ring, which that is cambium ring can be, and here is the bark or cork. A periderm is known as, and inside is the brown color shows that the phloem, and between the phloem and xylem that's the vascular cambium, and here is the cambium is present. Here is the cambium ring, that is annual ring is known as, and inside the hardwood is present. And there's the xylem, and here is the pith. Xylem is used for the conduction of water and phloem is used for the conduction of nutrients. So simple is that. It's not difficult. Here is red color shows that the phloem. Red color shows that the phloem, which that are outside, and between the phloem and xylem that's the vascular cambium, and water will move from here to here. The first will enter from the phloem to move by the conduction for the conduction into the xylem. So that's the simple. Here is the root potential and the soil potential and the water potential. There's some potential will be produced due to the movement of. So it means the root potential is when root potential is high, there's the water absorbed into the root, and soil potential is low. So the soil will prefer the absorption for the water into the root, so that the root absorb and transpiration will be more. So the pull of the water by the chain by the binding of the hydrogen binding which that attract to upward movement by the transpiration. That is the basic reason about these things. So here is the tracheid. There is a fiber in xylem. That is the tracheid, which that is made up of cellulose. That's pit are present is here, and water will enter and remove from it and conduct toward upward. That's a upward movement of water. Some just movement of water is upward in xylem. So that's the xylem fiber. So here is the phloem. Phloem contains sieve plate, central vacuole, and companion cell. Here is the movement is single direction. Here is the multi direction. That's inside and outside. And sieve plate is porous, which prefer to move and in move and out move. And these contain the sap of the plant that is known as the nutrients conduction, the food conduction due to the phloem. So it's simple. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe the channel and stay blessed.